You're welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, and we're about to have our online and newspaper review. That song we just heard or saw is a revival chant by Praise, and that is to show you that we're about to enter our weekend energetically. Yes. So here with me are two of my co-hosts in the persons of Miss Miriam Abnadidi and Mr. Clement Yabankwe, sorry. So, my trendy news officers, how are we doing this morning?
We can't complain. God has been good. And just as we saw from the music, we all need to charge up. We need to be chanting each and every time because we don't know what is ahead of us. So we can't complain. It is always, a vibe, a vibrant energy that we always bring on set.
Yes. Thank you. What about you, Clement?
All right, it's a brand new day, and every day has its own unique features. No matter how you would plan the day, you should always plan it in line with what God has for you. Exactly. So always your line should be turned in the direction of God. I think our resident pastor said something. He said that when you pray concerning your personal plan, that God should bless your personal plan, that isn't enough. What you should pray for is God should give his own plan concerning your life to you. Because if you move in the plan of God concerning your life, that is when you wouldn't be frustrated when issues start hitting you. But when you're moving your own plan, thinking that this is the plan I want to turn, when issues hit you, you wonder, hey, you become so confused. Wow. So you see, as the song said, give me oil, and we want to tell viewers that the Lord will give them oil.
Amen. And speaking on plans, I think it has to do with, like, most people get affected, especially when it comes to marriage. They end up getting into the marriage before involving God. And so we are very excited that today on the show, we're having a discussion on
marriage.
Of course.
Yes. But Mimi, I don't know if Mimi of late has been talking about marriage. I don't know whether there is something cooking
it is already cooked. Hey. It is almost burning.
Really?
I'll give you the canzo, don't worry.
Canzo pan. Yeah, but you didn't wait.
Don't worry.
Wow, Clemens, that was very powerful. I'm sure, yes, if you're watching, we need an associate pastor. We have one here because he gave us a really powerful message. Mimi too might be our resident marriage counselor.
Of course.
If
you come to me, your marriage will last.
Wow, that's really beautiful to hear from you guys. But then, online and newspaper review. So what's up? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm still concerned. I want to know what motivated you to think of, discussing marriage today? Was it because of me?
Well, as Clement said, God's plan, So sometimes we just fall into God's acceptable will, and then, or it could even be his. What's the other one? Pastor, help me. There's acceptable will, and then there's something.
You have the permissive will of God,
the
acceptable will of God, and have the perfect will of God.
So it could either be the permissive or the perfect. I think it's perfect because the way you're also looking married already this morning. There.
But you see, Mimi wants us to talk about issues that we are not supposed to talk about on air. I was expecting her, you should leave this issue when we meet backstage.
Okay, so let's move on. I think
because if not for that, when I start unveiling things, she'll be like, hey.
Maybe Aquile and Oko, if you want to.
Dabi, when you're
Clement. Right. Okay, so what is trending? What's up this week? What have you heard?
So, our very own Stonebwoy has been in the news lately, and it is all about throwing money at fans, which he termed as disrespectful, and he made us known during an interview in Sunyani, where he expressed that tossing money, creates an unfair condition or situation for those that are not able to get the money, and at the end of the day, they get hurt and other things.
Yes,
so he
people
feels,
scrambling.
yeah, it is very disrespectful. But we've seen the likes of Asawale, medical, spreading money, and a lot of people like it that way. Some of us, we want to be disrespected.
No,
so just throw the money.
Respect yourself, young lady. Come
Throw the
on.
money on us. I'm speaking for a particular fan base, right? So
Well, for the fact that our money is our legal tender and it is something that is of the highest value in the state, throwing it about is not exactly respectful to that
the money,
the money, the commodity, or whatever word
the
I'm
value
struggling to find the value of it. Because even in the Christian religion and Christendom, they even say money is a spirit.
yeah.
And so sometimes even there are rules on how to even handle money. Don't squeeze it, don't, all these things. So to be throwing it away, and even in some countries it's illegal, because I think some months back in Nigeria I heard Bobrisky had been throwing money and people were stepping on it and things like that, and he was arrested about that. So I think that yes, musicians, I get it, you have money you want, but why not just have your
so yes,
your
there was a video of
shared,
him sharing like 20 cedis to people.
maybe bundles, some 2 million bundle.
Some of us from where we are coming from, throwing the money in the air, it looks nice. Want to catch it,
But in catching this money, it's not manna. In catching it, you go and fall down. Somebody's leg will hit you. Something, just because of a note that you're going to spend in a few hours. You may lose your life.
At the
Kids,
fun of it. I mean,
fun.
Stone Boy is here. It doesn't just happen, by the roadsides during shows and other things.
And the shows are full of crowds. So just because of some 200 CDs,
we have a strategic way we do it.
So you've been doing that.
Oh yes,
it looks like that.
So then this one, as Yaya said, it's wrong. Yes, it's wrong because we need to respect our currency.
This is our currency.
Yes, we need to respect it. And international countries, some won't do such things. Yes. So I think, as Yaya said, our musicians, please, if you want to give money to someone,
you can just share. You have security and a lot of goons around. Give it to them.
If you think you can't give personally, take their Momo numbers and.
He charges better also.
I hope I saw more money.
Well, before we continue, please remember we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Send in your comments into our live stream, so we'll read it out loud for you, your questions. Send them also to our WhatsApp number that will be displayed on your screens. Along the line, in the conversations on the lifestyle segments, business segments, and the main discussion, the phone lines will be opened for you to call in and ask all your questions. So yes, let us move on. What else have you heard?
I think on somewhere 19th, the Ministry of Youth and Sports appeared before the Public Accounts Committee. And there was a response that they made to the Public Accounts Committee regarding the amount of money that they paid to GBC for airing the 113th African Games rather. And GBC came out to say that such money was not paid to them. So we had a lot of issues surrounding it. As at yesterday, the Ministry of Youth and Sports brought out a statement from its A to I. But let me just focus on the F to I. He says that subsequently an agreement was reached between the two institutions, that's Ministry of Youth and Sports and the GBC, Ghana Broadcast Corporation. And the G says from the total amount, that is, okay, so let me read the E. He said, with the understanding that GBC will use the service of third parties to assist them implement their obligation, the total agreed amount was $3.6 million United States dollars. That was the agreement they went to. So he said that out of this, in G, they said they paid an amount of 2.5 million United States dollars was paid to GBC in two tranches. The first one was 1 million USD and the second one was 1.5 million United States dollar. And another one was paid he said the first one was on 18th of March, the second one was on 22nd of May, and another one was paid to the third party of GBC. That is $1 million United States dollar in accordance to the contract. So this is what the Ministry of Youth and Sports is saying, that indeed such money has been paid to GBC. So they should also check their records. And we know that this story would really trend moving forward, especially in the sports news. And I know Clock Sports will give us details of all these issues.
But my concern is, as a broadcasting corporation, why do you come out to counter a notice when you haven't really done your search? Because according to...
So, okay, you come.
Yeah, because according to what you read, it looks like the Ministry of Youth and Sports are saying this is the amount they pay. They are insisting. And then GBC is also, countering that. So I want to understand as...
Yes, so I think that's why I said that moving the days ahead, we hear a lot of this. At least the comment came up as a result of the Public Accounts Committee meeting. That was when you heard GBC also release a statement that, we only received this amount, but not this actual amount. But now, Ministry of Youth and Sport has come to say that the additional $1 million USD was paid to the third party of GBC. So we are just hoping to see if really GBC will respond to this or not moving forward.
Integrity and credibility.
So, did they specify that maybe it was paid into a certain account? Those things should be considered. Was it paid into an account in the name of GBC? Was it paid into somebody's name as a representative of GBC? Even the third party, how well are they working? That it's not going to be that, okay, this third party is here, we pay the money and then they vanish. They just abscond with all the money, something like that. These are things that we should also check, because if two parties are saying two different things, then there's something missing.
Yeah. So per the statement they released, they are saying that the third party, GBC, is aware of the third party. And they, the ministries, they are aware of the third party. So they are saying that in age, they said, let me read what they say. Another amount of $1 million United States dollar was paid to the third parties upon the instructions of GBC in accordance with the contract.
Then the third party should just come.
So the I also says, as a public institution, we are committed to transparency and accountability in the discharge of our mandate. So we are hoping that you get to hear more stories of this. So we would all, yes.
Our money.
Yes, so
all of us
all
our
understand
money. So
what is really
want to
happening.
know what is happening. They have to come.
But Clock Sports will bring the details of it.
Sure.
They will.
Okay. So apparently GBC brought in the third party and they did most of the work, and then GBC was just mainly a platform for them. That's what I'm also getting. But we hope to hear more and then find out what exactly is going on, because these monies are a lot. And there's a lot at stake too. So, anything else?
No, I think for now.
And in the course of the show, during the lifestyle segments, we'll be discussing a very interesting topic that a lot of us are facing. How to balance our normal lives and also work, family. Clement, you're a family man, so this conversation is going to benefit you a lot. So I'm just reminding our viewers that we have a lot of interesting content coming their way, so they should just stick with us.
So maybe I'm yet to be use that one, because maybe
it's not here you are going to do adverts. Please focus. So we have a comment here from Yaboy and Ebenezer. He says you are doing very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer. So yes, online news. The first story says unions get credits by President Akufo-Addo for fostering industrial unity. The presence of labor unions for social discourse over strike measures has been applauded by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and that encouraged mutual trust, respect, societal coherence, and peace, he claimed. Therefore, President Akufo-Addo emphasized the need for stronger partnerships that allow trade unions to exercise their power for the benefit of all when he spoke at the 12th Quadrennial Delegates Congress of the Trades Union Congress Ghana on Tuesday at the Pentecost Convention Center at Gomoa-Fete in the central region. But in advocating for improved working conditions for its members, he challenged the unions to consider world events and their effects on regional economies. The conference's topic was sustaining and leveraging the power of trade unions in a challenging economic environment, and it will also see the election of new union leaders for the following 4 years. So unions are getting some commendation from our president. And based on what I did in school, I learned a little bit about that. I don't remember, so let me say a little bit. I don't remember a lot of it, but I remember that in a company or in any industry, management is at the management level, and then the workers are also at the worker level. So sometimes the experiences are different.
Yeah.
So the management may be detached from what the workers are going through. So the unions come together to be able to sort of have a representation that can speak to the management, to be able to inform them of what's going on grounds, right? So, and then also the unions also help to check any sort of imbalances or even abuse. Because like we have our unions here, they usually they advocate for conditions of service, welfare, and those things. Sometimes the management may not really think down to that level that, hey, okay, my workers do need this, they do need that, their hours need to be, made flexible, those kinds of things, logistics, place of rest and things like that. So sometimes when they have the unions, they come out to do that. So you realize that in our government sector especially, these are actively working. So you see that there isn't that much abuse of power by most of the management, unlike in the private sector, where the private sector may usually be one man's business. And, even though there have been some, there has been some sort of backlash against unionization. There was a time where a lot of companies were against that because they thought that they're coming to challenge management and things like that. But unions are actually here to just keep you in check and then make sure that you don't abuse your power over your employees. Yeah. And I'm glad at least our president is acknowledging what they've been doing. I mean, for some time now, look at how they've been able to stand up to speak to our government that this is wrong. These things are happening to us. If you don't do the needful, we will not do the needful. It puts them there so they do not stifle them and abuse them. That's like the CTAC. If you don't teach, we won't pay your salaries and things like that. They were able to stand their grounds, and now they came to an agreement. So it's balanced, So
I want to add up to what you're saying, and you've made us know, the functions of unions and other things.
Thanks to my lectures,
which are very, very important. And one thing we also need to know is that these unions are backed by laws, right? Act 299 backs the unions. And everything they do is legally approved. And I know we started Cocoa Digest not too long ago, but every single time we sat here, we spoke about a protest or two, right? We showed the number of issues, pressing issues that these individuals or unions are facing. And so the comments the president made getting to the end of the story that they should consider world changes, economic issues and other things is where my concern is, because in as much as these things are happening in the world and affecting our economy, there are priorities, right? Yes. And just as I said, the unions are backed by laws. Whatever they are doing have been also factored in, let's say, the budgets or policies and other things. So why then wait
till they rise before?
Because my little research I did show that the unions are, we have about 18 unions making our trade union congress here in Ghana. And my focus was on the mining sector because we also know the illegal mining activities that are destroying our lands, our roads, our water bodies and other things. And from the research I made, it showed that for some time back, the 1990s, and most of the state-owned mining companies were doing a lot for the country. Because they were state-owned, they attracted a lot of investors, and then when they came, everything they did, came back to the government, or the revenues generated came back to the government. But now privatization
has taken...
You get it. So I want to also send this across that the presidents and other leaders need to look into the Trade Union Congress and know what they used to do at first and what they are not doing now, so that maybe some changes can be made, because they are also going through a lot. It is not just about coming to commend them that they've done well. For all you know, it was just peaceful protests we had this year. What is going to happen next year if the challenges keep increasing, keep coming back at us and all those
things? And even speaking to the privatization issue, I think that if our leaders can find a way to incorporate the private sector into the unionization, even if there's going to be that dichotomy, but there should be, the private workers should have unions where they are able to still check their employers, whether it's a one-man business or it's an actual corporation, but in the private sector. Because as much as government workers are able to get their rights and things, protected and respected, it is not the same for most of the people in the private sector. And that is something we should look at. As you even mentioned about the mining sector right now, a lot of privatization has gone on, and it seems as though there is a disconnect now, So
they can't evict them, immediately. But as you are saying, a partnership will help curb the situation. And for all you know, most of these big men are the same people owing
allegedly.
I beg you. So there are issues on the ground, and Clemens,
yes. I think you've said it all. But the little thing I want to add is, unions, they are, let's use the word, they are the pillars of building an economy. Exactly. Without the unions, I wonder how even the economy is going to be.
Of course.
Because sometimes, in as much as they look at the conditions of service and all this, they also put the workers in check.
Of course.
They really do that. Because when a union is established, and a member of a union, you misbehave or you go against the rules of the union, they put you on check. I remember COCOBOD some time not ago, when members of COCOBOD, some of them were appointed to assemblyman election, of which they know that you are not allowed to do that. The COCOBOD issued a statement that they should either resign or you have to stop. So you see, they put their members in check. And TUC, we know, has been one of the biggest unions that we have in Ghana, over 70 plus years now. Yes. And they have almost 500,000 members in Ghana. So if trade union or TUC is having a congress and the president is there, as Mimi said, he did well to recognize them. But in all this, we should also look at, are we just, is the president just saying it for saying sake? Or he meant it. He's saying it based on certain standard and principles. Because we're all in the country when the SNIT issue came up, that TUC and organized labor were calling on government, calling on the president to step in. But for so many call, the president never responded to them. Until the last minute, then he called organized labor for a meeting. Of which, whatever transpired in the meeting, organized labor didn't like it. So the only thing was for them to lay down their tools. That was the only thing that the government or the president had or listened to. So if you are recognizing unions in the country, then you should listen to them when they speak. Don't wait till they put their tools down. You shouldn't. Why should you wait till they do that? Why do you have to?
Because you know what you're supposed to do.
You know, yes. So just do the right thing. For example, this CITAC issue we talked about, more than 2 months. You know what they're asking for. So why would you wait for them to sit home for more than 2 months? So assuming if these people have no unions, who is going to speak for the workers?
That's very true. And even
we are going to have
slightly away from that, our labor laws need to be enforced with more vigor, or even just there should be some more backing to it. Because, like I said, okay, maybe it's because of the bitter experiences, but especially in the private sector, your employer can decide not to pay you for about 3 months with no communique, And who are you? What can you do?
You can't do anything.
But if our labor laws are also firmly, enforced, and maybe our people are also educated on these things, that these are your rights. If your employer is doing ABC, you can stand up and do something, they would be able to have better conditions, because now they are there silently suffering just because they need jobs. And a lot of people are being exploited. Right. We have the unions here. They are able to speak for us because, of course, there is a small detachment because the management is up there and we are down here going through whatever we are going through, bearing the brunt of the economic hardships and things like that. But yes, our labor laws also need to. So if it is our trade union congress that can do something about this, or even in partnership with the government to stand firm on these labor laws, I'm sure something can be done for us. I think we have a program coming up like that, right?
Yeah.
So to add up to what you just said, we also have to take note of the fact that leadership plays a pivotal role in, directing and also taking good care of, making sure that unions, do their best.
Yes.
And so in your story, you made mention of the fact that they are going to elect new leaders.
Yeah, new leaders.
And so, aspirants or upcoming or incoming leaders should take note of the concerns of their unions, their members, and also know what their predecessors did, so they don't repeat, the negative ones, and we'll see the way forward.
And to add to that, unions are supposed to be non-partisan.
Yeah.
So we implore the upcoming leaders who will be elected, please do not be partisan, because you will jeopardize the welfare of the members of your union. It's common knowledge. Everybody has one party or the other they are affiliated to, but we need to look at the bigger picture. It goes beyond your political party or your political affiliation. It is about the welfare of yourself and your people, the corporation you work for as well. So let us look beyond that and then do the needful, because if they are partisan, then they get to be manipulated by the management. If you are in the management's pocket, they'll be using you for all kinds of things against your own fellow workers.
I like how you're objectively talking about this. Meanwhile, it is happening.
It is always happening. It is everywhere.
And that is what is affecting a lot of unions.
Yeah, so Mimi,
but we have to say it in an objective way. So
yes,
that's
with
very
decorum.
True. That's very
respect.
true. So I just want to say something. But when you raise the issue of the Labor Act, Mimi, could you imagine that in Ghana, the Labor Act, the minimum wage in Ghana as at today is 14 cedis to 18 cedis. 14 cedis, 88 pesos to 18 cedis, 15 pesos.
Is it per day?
Per day, minimum.
Wow.
Per day. But in Ghana, especially the private sector you talked about, some people pay as low as 200 Ghana cedis. As
it's
take
their
our
business. You can't
200 Ghana cedis.
I remember my first job, I was paid, I think, 300 Ghana cedis. Yeah, and it was a 24-hour job, so you can imagine.
Wow.
So that one is some years ago. So few years ago.
I want to get the issue very serious.
But
it is serious. 24-hour job.
Yeah, I'm talking about assets today. In the current economy we find ourselves, you are paying someone as 200 Ghana cedis.
And you see, if you say you won't take somebody will take.
That's the issue.
And this is something that needs to be regulated because people are exploiting people.
Yeah.
And our labor laws are not being enforced. How many people even know?
No,
but of
you're
course,
right.
Clock TV is coming for them.
That's very true. That's very true.
After uni, I applied to my former job where I used to be paid 500 Ghana cedis. And I wanted to come back because I had
was
nothing
no other.
And the man was like, "Oh, I can't pay you. You're a graduate." I appreciated that.
Yes, he was honest. Some people, that is it. This is the money for degree holders. And if you go and find out what the diploma or SHS graduates or even JHS leavers are taking,
you'll be shocked.
You'll be so sad.
How do they survive? I think one day we should open the phone lines and let people share their experience. How do you survive? How are you surviving in Ghana?
Because even from personal experience, I worked at a certain company just somewhere last year. And if you look at the government payroll for a degree holder and what they were giving me, it was less than half. A degree of...
But we thank God we passed through, we survived.
Yes, all of these are for us to come and speak about today.
If not, we wouldn't have gotten anything to talk about.
But yes, let's quickly move to the next story. So this one says, COCOBOD has announced self-financing for 2024-2025 cocoa crop season in September. So the Ghana Cocoa Board has announced plans to switch to self-financing for the 2024-2025 cocoa crop season beginning in September 2024. For the past 32 years, COCOBOD has funded cocoa purchases through offshore borrowing via its cocoa syndication program. However, the organization is now changing its strategy to lessen its reliance on external financing. Speaking to the media, COCOBOD CEO Joseph Boahin-Aidu stated that this new approach is anticipated to save approximately $150 million.
Wow. Let me speak for the ordinary Ghanaian. Oh, this is, a good decision. I mean, we appreciate the fact that we are going to be saving approximately $150 million.
Yes.
But my question is,
how?
From the popular Ghanaians, why now?
Well, in this life, you live, you learn. And seemingly, it has taken COCOBOD 32 years to learn from their mistakes. So let's commend them on that.
32?
Yes, 32. There are mistakes you are now
So,
learning
you
from,
see,
right? So
if they were here to answer this question, I know for sure they would have made mention of economic crisis, high operational costs, limited domestic financial capacity. These are my research I did. But the question I want to ask again is, are these things not happening now? Are there not going to be hindrances, to... I just want us to think around it. It shouldn't just be a news,
maybe they're also just taking the bold step to try out the self-financing to see what the outcome could be. Because for 32 years, they've been doing the same thing and the same outcome, or even worse sometimes. So what about an alternative? This alternative seems risky, it seems dangerous, but let's try it and see. Yeah. Maybe that is the whole plan. But businessman, over to you. This is not my field.
So, Yaira,
yes,
it's a good news to Ghana, because self-financing, as the CEO said, we are going to save $150 million dollars. That's the interest, though.
Okay.
That money he quoted was the interest Ghana paid us at last year.
Oh, okay.
That's 8%. So if you calculate 8% on the amount of loan they took last year, that was the money they paid.
Okay.
So they are saying that the interest is too much. So instead of they going to the international market for loan, let us do it within. But a lot of concern has been raised.
Yes, I was even going to ask, how are they even going to do it?
That's the question. How are you going to finance this? From where? Because we know that we have a lot of economic crisis in the country. So which place are you going to get the money from? Are you going to get from GRE? Are you going to get from Bank of Ghana? Of which Bank of Ghana is, I think they will not be willing to borrow you money. Yeah. Why? Because the Auditors General's report as of 2023 shows that you owe Bank of Ghana 8.241 billion Ghana cedis.
Wow.
That the Public Accounts Committee directed the Bank of Ghana to recover such amount of money from COCOBOD. 8.2 billion Ghana cedis. Such money has not been paid. And you are going to do self-financing. Where are you going to get the money from?
You see,
are you going to base on Olam? Olam is just a company that buys cocoa. Yeah. Because if you remember, just at Tuesday, in our business news, that was the alternative COCOBOD is going to do. Yeah. Because they realize that now they are not getting the loan. They are not getting the loan. So the only option is for them to seek money from Olam, from Belly, those other purchasing companies, so that they can start the cocoa season, because it's very near. And the world market is not willing and ready to give them money. So that is the only ways.
What about,
that they want to use to finance the their self. But you see, over the years, per records, COCOBOD is owing an amount of money. The internet. They owe an amount of money per records, or losses that they incurred So I'm so much concerned because I'm wondering where COCOBOD will get such an amount of money. As at 2017, COCOBOD incurred a loss of 395 million. As at 2018, they incurred a loss of 78.2 million. As at 2019, they incurred a loss of 320.6 million. As at 2020, they incurred a loss of 426 million. As at 2021, 2.4 billion. 2022, 3.2 billion. 2023, 4.2 billion.
And it keeps increasing.
So it keeps increasing.
Yeah.
So the question is, where are you going to get the money for self-financing?
You see, this is what will make people say it is a political gimmick. Like we are in an election year, so
Okay.
let's try and do something that will produce some money for us to, because look at the losses.
Yes.
You don't have the finances. How then do you say you are going
Because the issue is, if Olam fails to give you the amount of money you want, then what is the alternative? So, as Mimi said, we expect COCOBOD to come out on how they are going to raise this funds internally.
Yes.
What means are
Well,
they going to use?
I have a little hope, and I think that maybe they intend to improve upon the cocoa beans that will be exported and put on the stock market and things like that, where maybe they would invest in better machinery and production to be able to make it up to a standard where they can even start to dictate the prices or something of the sort, because that is one of the ways it can help, where right now our products are at par with the international standard, or they meet all the international standards. We can decide, okay, this is what we want to.
Part of what you're saying
Hope.
happened last year, and
Okay.
it didn't lead us anyway.
Oh,
So you see why I raised my concern that, before they even come and answer, I know the answers already. Economic crisis, this, that. These challenges are still
let's have some
happening.
faith in our.
No.
Oh, yeah, like
it is
we
high
have the
time
faith,
we-
but the whole issue is we are concerned about how.
Yes.
In what means will they raise this amount of money? Because we need about 1.5 billion. That was the loan they were going for to fund this year's cocoa season. So if you are not going for such money, which was around 800,000 metric tons projection that they made. But as we speak, they are looking at somewhere 650,000 metric ton as the new projection that they want to get in this season cocoa production. So our concern is, how are you going to finance it?
Well, as they always say, it is possible. Everything is possible. Like, just as Yaira is saying, let's hope that, but I always say that we can always help ourselves without even going external, right? There is always a way out. We can, cut some of the costs, subsidize salaries, make us...
Wait, calm down.
It is a suggestion.
Subsidize what?
A suggestion.
No,
It's a suggestion.
Whose salaries?
Yeah,
Because
we are all
here.
working together to make COCOBOD, COCOBOD our own. Or let's say we are giving ourselves 5 months. We are deducting 500 cedis from everybody's
There are
salary.
people in this country who are taking way more than necessary. Some people who don't. Apparently, there were allegations made that there are some people who don't contribute to SNIT, but they have large sums as their pension. Let's look there. Leave me
But how are you going
and my
to know?
single salary alone.
How are you going to know, Yaira?
If they want to find out, they can. We have the means and the measures to put in place.
But all jokes aside, we hope that COCOBOD comes out to tell us what exactly their fiscal or feasibility plans are, so that we'll know, okay, we can support them. If not,
okay. So we have one more comment here. It says, this is from Afadi Kwe, and I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well. Afadi. Good morning, Clock TV. Good morning, Cocoa Digest. How are you? I'm a loyal and constant fan of Cocoa Digest. We thank you so much. He says, your show is the best morning show ever. Oh. I have been monitoring and watching for some time, and I love everything about the show. Thank you so much, Mr. Kwe. And we send our love right back to you. We appreciate this comment as well. Our very own Obiba Wilson Oh, okay, that was for last week. Sorry. Oh, Bipa, send your message. We're waiting for you. So this is also another comment. It says, I appreciate you, sir. I think he's trying to talk to Clock TV's manager, but I appreciate Clock TV. I'm very happy that Clock TV doesn't do politics. It's very good. I would like to propose some wow shows so that management will take into consideration. We will contact you after the show to discuss more on that. Thank you so much for your suggestion. You can continue sending in your comments to our live stream and our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen. So yes, let's get quickly into the last story. So this one says, NADMO activates emergency plan for potential flooding from the BAGRE and KOMPIENGA dams. I'm sorry if I butchered the names. Clement, is it something you can pronounce for me?
No.
Okay.
But you saw me and you're acting Clement. That's my hometown.
Okay, so please, what are the names?
It is right.
Okay, thank you. As part of its emergency response strategy, NADMO is setting up safe havens across flood-prone areas to accommodate displaced individuals and deploying drone services to deliver essential supplies to communities that would be isolated by flood waters. To minimize further loss, NADMO has positioned teams at key vantage points throughout the region to protect lives and property. So, seems NADMO is being proactive this year, which is a very good thing. But I have an issue with this dam spillage thing.
Yeah.
What I'm about to say may seem far-fetched, but it is possible. A lot has been done for this. I think that this spillage thing, we can have some way where all of that water spilled can be used for irrigation in the northern region or something.
Exactly.
Because we heard Libya's late president, Gaddafi, had put up some plumbing system where they could get water from the sea or something, something alleged like that along those lines. I'm sure we can also, because we even had an aspirant, a political aspirant, saying that he would create a water something from the sea to Kumasi. I mean, all this water being spilled, killing people, destroying property could be gathered and used somewhere. It's possible, isn't it?
It is.
I'm glad you agree with me.
Oh, it is
because
possible.
when I was thinking about it, it seemed as though it could be a little too unrealistic. But if we can put up some sort of plumbing lines in our underground where the water is collected somewhere, it's controlled and collected somewhere, and then it will be transported. Of course, the distance might be a lot. So if there is a middle point where the water is is conveyed there differently, it's possible, because all this water going to waste every year, and there's drought somewhere. Because Dubai and the others, they live in the desert, and they are still able to make use of whatever little water or humidity they can get.
Sure.
We should be able to do something.
So I think the other time in the news, one of the contractors or surveyors working with the Ghana Irrigation Authority came out to give an estimation of an amount that they think will cost Ghana if we want to embark on such irrigation. So I think your suggestion is not bad. It is right. I mean, I've been thinking about it all night. I said, how is this going to work? How is this, there should be a way. I think it is possible. Yeah. But we also have to commend NADMO on their use of technology.
And then even the proactivity this year.
Yes, they've really done well. At least they are not waiting for the
thing to happen before they come to try and save the day. That's
and we are hoping that it is not just in talks or words. It will be in action, right?
Yes.
Sure.
And definitely. The use of
drone services. So, there are places that may not be accessible because it's all flooded, but then there are just some small, maybe the point to get into the community has been sealed off. So they have to use a drone service to drop in some essentials for them. That is why. So don't come for the drone service.
It's good you clarified, because I was wondering how is that going to work? I mean,
Yeah.
but it is all good. I mean, the public is, aware of what is going to happen. I hope they are also preparing
Yes,
themselves.
yes, that's very true.
That is very, very important, because if you are not ready for something and it happens, it can take,
a very
toll
long
on
time
you
to even recover. Yeah.
So I know they are ready for what is about to happen, and we are hoping that they'll find places to, keep them safe and other things.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So we have a few comments. So Maria Samoa says, good morning. You guys are doing great. A great job. Kudos. Watching you live on YouTube. Good morning to you, Miss Maria Samoa. Then Diana Voski Katamani is asking, good morning. When does Lawyer Hardy come? Lawyer Hardy will come in around
people can't wait.
8:30 to 9:30, right? My producer. Yes. So that is towards the end of the morning show after the business segment. So just stay tuned, learn, and then you'll meet Lawyer Hardy and we will talk about this topic that you people seem to like so much. So I think we also have, okay, these are the, so our guy who wants to help us out has sent some of his suggestions and we will contact him for that later. Yes, so those are the comments. Thank you so much. Keep sending in your comments to our Facebook and YouTube live stream and also our WhatsApp number when it's displayed on your screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So back to this story. Clement, you talk.
So on the story of NADMO, it's, as you said, it's a good thing they've done. But you're right, the flooding activity has already started. The spillage has started.
Yeah.
It started on Monday. That was last Friday rather.
Yeah.
And the dam is, let me read something. It said the dam was opened at 9:30 a.m. As at that time, last Monday, with a discharge rate of 46 meters per second cube. 46 meters per second cube. So if NADMO has put in all these strategies or these plans in place, one, it's very good. And we wish that our people there, because all this thing is from Burkina Faso. It's a spillage from the dam of Burkina Faso that is running through all these places.
Oh, then,
so
not to cut you, if it is from Burkina,
then the
it should be
irrigation
easy.
plan should be, because I was even thinking it was somewhere down south here.
Volta.
it's from, because
And even
when you
the
read the
Volta one.
background, when you read the background, he said the exercise, which commenced on Monday, August 19, followed the rapid rising of the upstream level of 2 dams in Burkina Faso.
Okay.
Yes.
But I also have a question about this dam spillage thing to the engineers who can probably help us. Is there no alternative for the spillage thing? Fine. I think at some point the water gets too much, but then isn't there anything else they can do aside letting it just flow into the community? Because people live there. Livelihoods are, thriving there. Isn't there anything else they can do? Because just allowing water to come in for the sake of the dam, what about the lives? What about the property?
You've asked an important question, but you see, the storage is the problem. Where to store the excess water is the problem.
So irrigation plan. So
that is what you just mentioned.
So as we said, they said all this thing is going to, he said it leaves community along the White and Black Volta in the northern region, the northeast, the upper east, all these people. The water is just passing.
Okay, but what about also calling on the community to come and fetch water? Like,
From the dam.
Sign over to me as Yara.
no. For our households and things.
Yara, have you? I want to find out a question. Like, wait. Have you visited the dam before?
Yes, I have. There's a lot of water there. I know.
Yeah.
I think I went to is it in Chaban water?
In Chaban?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about.
I know
we have a
that.
dam there. That's in Chaban to Sekendi. The Ghana Water Company have a dam over there.
We visited
That's what we visited last time. So I wonder how you want the community to fetch water from the dam.
It's all just ideas. Maybe it's not realistic enough, but come on. For the water to come and just take lives and property away versus getting communities to come and fetch. I don't
But there's
know.
still coming to come and fetch. I still don't understand how. Come to fetch
Buckets, tankers, like it's possible to
save
go.
it that way.
No.
I didn't no. It's come to wash them away, wash their properties away, their household. So why should they save the water?
No, what was it?
I understand the area.
Like these are communities that by now Ghana Water they've closed pipe like 2 months now. They go to like such remote areas to fetch water. The dam is here. Let's all arrange our buckets.
Yeah, right.
It sounds funny, but
But how would
they can fetch?
Don't worry, we'll take it to the dam so that I demonstrate.
I wonder how Yaya want them to fetch the water from the dam.
Oh, but I mean, everything is possible.
But Mimi, this one, dear.
We'll take her there so that she just demonstrates.
Ah,
But
well.
one thing I want to add is that in as much as these, temporal, how do I put it? Temporal concerns are important. We need to also understand that there has to be a long-term.
Yeah, because
Yes,
for how
yes,
long are you going to be doing this dam spillage thing? So you do it. You promise us that you do maybe an alternative. I've rebuilt my small house. Then you do it again, and then the place, because it may even cause the areas to become waterlogged and things like that. That's why I'm just.
So I think they'll have to consider your suggestion.
It has to actually be taken back to the drawing board.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see, when I was on Tuesday, that's when we talked about the northern parts having issues with drought and stuff.
Yeah.
So this one, NADMO has done what to come out with this. We expect the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority should also step in, use this as an opportunity.
I know they are watching. They are watching.
They should use this as an opportunity to set irrigation system in the northern part.
Yeah.
That will help.
Yeah, that will help them.
They are watching us, so don't worry.
So please, as much as we didn't communicate our suggestions in the best way, okay,
we were laughing. That it was funny.
Yes, please take note, and please, we need to do something about this. Livelihoods are at stake here.
Yeah.
I don't think we can continue doing this. And even looking at the one district, one dam thing.
Yeah.
So if every district in Ghana has a dam now, and there has to be spillage. Oh,
I think they will have to.
we have to start fetching the water.
No, they'll have to get us canoes and.
No, I say we should find barrels and fetch water. You are looking for canoes.
No matter what you do,
my
the place
question
will be
is
flooded.
exactly. So I wonder where you put the barrel.
No, so what I mean about the fetching is it's not like you're going to put your bucket in.
Okay.
They will create a channel or something where the water can flow in a controlled manner to the people. Something of the sort. If it is even flowing into bigger polytanks, like they can get about 15 polytanks and get the excess water into it.
The pressure gets overwhelming that they are not able to control it. And that was what happened last year.
And Mimi, here's the case that the people you want them to save the water, they are running for their lives.
You get it?
Yes, so that is why if the channel is created in a more controlled way, and now, okay, so it's announced, spillage water is ready. Everybody, come and fetch. They are giving it.
Making us laugh.
No, it sounds funny, but it is doable.
Yeah.
If around 1,000 or 2,000, like 15 are there, the water is controlled and, contained in those polytanks for the people in the community to be able, even if it's not clean it's not potable, it can be used for farming.
Yeah.
That is what I mean. So it's not like you allow the water to flow, everybody carry back. Oh no, they will die.
Don't worry.
That's not.
We'll take you there so that you demonstrate.
These people are laughing at me. It's fine.
Oh, we are not
wrapping
laughing.
up
We are not laughing.
This segment. This brings us to the end of the online and newspaper review with my co-hosts Clement Yabankwe and Miss Miriam Abnadede. Up next, we have the business segment with Mr. Clement Yabankwe. He's going to be teaching us all about the business industries, stock exchange, all the international and local news in the realms of business. So right after this break, Clement will be taking us through.